Let's just jump right into this explainer. Today, we're actually shining a light on a super fascinating intersection of fears. We're looking at how the ancient, primal terror of caves has somehow seamlessly merged with the hubris of modern content creation. It's this crazy journey from the physical, claustrophobic dark of the underground straight into the existential dread of the digital age. Think of this as our survival map. We're going to hit 1. Primal underground fears. 2. Defining analog horror. 3. Do it for content. And finally 4. The ultimate subterranean nightmare. Let's get going.
Starting off with Section 1, Primal Underground Fears, Claustrophobia and the Unseen.
So, media usually dumps our underground nightmares into 3 pretty distinct buckets. First up, we've got creature features. Movies like The Descent or The Cave strip away all our upper world advantages and basically pit us against nightmarish predators. Like blind crawlers perfectly adapted to the pitch black. Next, we plunge into psychological descents. Think As Above, So Below, set down in the Paris catacombs. Here, the underground isn't just a physical trap, it's like a mirror reflecting the character's deepest sins, basically straight out of Dante's Inferno. And finally, the trapped or survival category, which you see in films like 10 Cloverfield Lane. This plays on pure, suffocating isolation. The bunker or the cave becomes this arena of survival where nightmares and reality just completely blur together.
Moving deeper, we hit Section 2, Defining Analog Horror, Documenting the Dread.
Okay, so what exactly is this? The real power of analog horror is how it completely leans into the distorted, glitchy limitations of old tech to build this overwhelming sense of dread. There are almost no traditional jump scares here. Instead, it relies heavily on low-fidelity graphics and super cryptic messages. It's designed to make you feel like you've literally stumbled onto a cursed VHS tape or some hijacked late-night TV broadcast. The tracking errors and the visual static basically force you to constantly wonder and honestly fear what exactly you're looking at in the noise.
Looking at the timeline, you can really see this dread evolve from early YouTube experiments into these massive viral hits that trap audiences in liminal spaces. Back in 2009, a 17-year-old creator dropped No Through Road, which pretty much established those early found footage tropes by trapping characters in a time loop on a dark country road. Fast forward to 2015, and Chris Straub's Local 58 literally coins the term analog horror with its wildly eerie public access broadcast aesthetic. And then, boom, 2022. Kane Pixels unleashes the backrooms, turning a viral meme into a terrifying digital maze that perfectly mimics 1990s VHS footage. It turns out, old tech is the perfect medium for capturing total isolation.
All right, stepping into Section 3, Do It for Content, the modern protagonist.
This is where we get a really dark juxtaposition. We are pitting raw physical survival instincts against a very modern obsession with subscriber counts. Traditionally, the people venturing into these dark abysses were scientists or seasoned adventurers, people meticulously focused on survival and actual discovery. But today's horror narratives, they've introduced a totally different kind of victim, the modern content creator. We're talking about YouTubers armed with ring lights who prioritize the perfect aesthetic or a viral moment over basic safety. To them, an ancient, lethal environment is literally just a backdrop for a vlog.
Take this chilling local warning about the Bonekeeper Cave. Nobody had ever returned alive. Pretty clear cut, right? But this warning was completely ignored by a budget travel vlogger named Ashley, who simply thought the deadly myth would make for a killer viral video to boost her subs.
The hubris here is honestly astounding. Despite locals explicitly telling them not to go, and a local expert even showing them actual 1976 Super 8 film from a Professor Harrison, footage that clearly reveals a single, bloody frame of an alien creature hiding deep in the maze, Ashley's group went in anyway. They literally held the exact kind of found footage evidence that defines analog horror in their hands, and they still chose to walk straight into the nightmare just to document it themselves. And, well, unsurprisingly, treating a lethal environment as just a fun set piece ensures Ashley meets a really swift, terrifying end. While they're deep in the cave system, she actively separates from the safety of her group just to film some quiet solo content and is instantly attacked by a massive tentacle. In a place where the shadows are hiding ancient predators, her desperate need for views makes her the very first victim. It's a brutal reminder of what happens when digital clout totally overrides primal survival instincts.
Which brings us to the bottom of our expedition. Section 4, The Ultimate Subterranean Nightmare, Synthesis of Fear.
Enter Lucas Vance. This guy is an absolute internet titan, the biggest YouTuber on Earth with 300 million subscribers and 4 billion monthly views. He looked at an impossible, deadly cave and just saw the perfect thumbnail to cure his audience's boredom. Despite all his success, his ego was totally his downfall. He completely ignored dire warnings from quantum archaeologists who showed him ancient stone tablets explicitly warning of the danger down there. Instead, he just packed his drones, fired up a live stream, and walked straight into the deadly Blackmouth Cave.
But here's the twist. This wasn't just some cave. As they descended, their drones vanished, and they ended up crossing a literal dimensional gateway. They discovered an ancient, sleeping alien civilization that had been hidden beneath the Earth for millions of years. The rocky walls suddenly turned into smooth artificial surfaces pulsing with symbols. They stepped into an artificial sky and an entire preserved city, and they walked right into it with cameras rolling.
And here is where the digital hubris becomes an absolute catastrophe. Lucas's viral livestream didn't just entertain his massive fan base, it acted as a giant cosmic beacon. The ancient aliens had been hiding from these massive void-woven enemies called the Devourers. And by broadcasting his discovery to billions of people live, Lucas's obsession with content essentially alerted these cosmic predators to Earth's exact location.
So, to activate the alien weapon, seal the dimensional gateway, and essentially save the entire planet, Lucas faced a choice that is arguably way worse than death for a content creator. Someone had to stay behind in the control chamber. But the cost wasn't just biological death, the process would completely erase them from existence. Literally, as if they had never even lived. Total deletion of their digital footprint and their history.
It's the ultimate tragic irony. The man who lived his entire life for internet fame, whose whole identity was built on views and subscribers, had to sacrifice his digital footprint and his very existence to save humanity. Lucas Vance just vanished. Earth survived, but Lucas was gone. No videos, no fans, no internet history. He was completely erased, leaving behind nothing but snow and silence at the cave's entrance. The ultimate content creator paid the ultimate price by becoming truly, entirely forgotten.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this. What lengths would you actually go to for the ultimate viral moment? In our relentless, daily grind of consuming and creating content, are we the daring explorers of our time? Or are we just foolishly waking up monsters in the dark? It really makes you rethink the true cost of chasing the algorithm, doesn't it? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep questioning the media you consume, and maybe just stay out of the caves.